Gosh.
So we can share it on the YouTube too, Taylor? The YouTube.
I like the YouTube. I like it.
The Facebook and the YouTube. Okay, so we've got a few people joining us, which is great. My dog sounds like she's gonna start to whine, so that's right on cue. The birds should start to chirp, and the kids should come for lunch at any moment. Maybe want to print something, so it's perfect.
I could bring. I have a special guest. He sits in my studio.
Is that Harry Potter? Is he in the closet under the stairs? Oh, Justin's here.
Justin's here.
Hi, Justin.
It's also creepy that I have the 16-year-old version.
Did you know? I did not know. I was watching this on a little thing yesterday.
And I'm sharing this.
That Ed Sheeran wrote "Love Yourself." I didn't know that.
Yes, because they're best. They're best buddies.
You look that. I'm like, that's why I love that song so much. I don't really like Justin Bieber's songs as much.
What you do? I do like the new Justin. I don't like the old. I mean, the old Justin was fine, but he was just like young and not caring, and that's what he's saying in his music now. And now he's grown up. Also, like, I probably wouldn't have cared either. I would have been like, "Woo, money, money, shaky, shaky."
I'd be like that right now. Everybody who's just joined is like, are we talking about Justin Bieber or identity theft? Because the caption says identity theft. Why are they talking about Justin Bieber? Okay. Hi, everybody. Thank you for joining us. I have my friend Taylor Kaye here. You guys may recognize her voice. It's a pretty famous voice. She's, across national television as well. You've heard her on many radio stations, Classic Rock 107.9, Chum FM 102.9, K Light. Did I get that right, Taylor?
Yeah.
So she's been around. She's also a friend of mine, a mentor. She's smarter than I am. And she's pretty funny. If you don't follow her on her Facebook, social media, she works with one of my favorite brands as well, which is Giant Tiger. So you may have seen her host some events for them too. She works with a ton of brands. But pretty savvy, pretty tech savvy girl. Woman. Sorry, we're not supposed to say girl. I got in trouble.
I can be girl. I like it.
I got in trouble for that, but I get in trouble for everything. You had your identity stolen.
Mm-hmm. It's crazy. And you know what happened? It was with my phone. So I'm pretty secure with passwords and changing stuff with either I've got Hotmail, Gmail accounts. I'm sure everyone has they've got their work account, and then you've got your shopping account that I don't want my work emails, them cross-contaminating each other. So whether, the coupons and all, whatever, Hollister, American Eagle, GT VIP, everything goes.
I just love having 27 emails and 67,000 emails a day. I just enjoy it. So
I have to show you this. Okay, before I talk. Okay, so this is how many emails I did this for us to show you this. Oh my gosh, I have to where is this?
Yeah, I'm gonna win.
I'm gonna show you how many emails I erased yesterday. Let's see if you can see it. Can you see it? 81,000.
Okay, no.
81,190. Can you see it in there?
Yeah, you won. I was gonna show you mine of 33,000 in my inbox that I haven't read yet.
You haven't read? So this is like social notifications.
And that's not even my Facebook messages, my Instagram. That's not even that.
That's what that is. That's Facebook. Oh my gosh. So with each phone, you have your SIM card. So back to identity theft. I got a message. And I'm not going out anywhere. Like my kids and I, throughout the year since last March, we have been sticking to home. Like one of us might go shopping. We get a lot of shopping delivered to the house. Like I might go to Giant Tiger. I might go for a walk or go to the big. But there's people that can scan your SIM card in your phone. And when they have your SIM card, think about what you have there. It's not like they're taking it out of your phone. But maybe you have Google Pay or Apple Pay, PayPal attached to that. Maybe you're doing online shopping or grocery shopping onto that. So I got a message saying, hey, you have 90 minutes to change your phone number back because someone is authorized to take your phone number. And I got a text and I went, that's bizarre, scammers. And so I just deleted it, like those CRA calls that people get. Well, it was a real text. And it came from my cell phone provider, and it was Rogers, and Rogers and Bell do the same thing. So I called Rogers later on because then nobody could get a hold of me. Clients were trying to get a hold of me. My kids were trying to get a hold of me because they call in the studio. I'm in my voiceover studio. I'm like, text me. And the phone was going to someone else. So that person then because I was trying to now get my number back, and I was frantic because my number was gone with the SIM card and with your phone number. And again, with your phone number, especially for us, Michelle, and if you're social, it's two-factor authentication when you sign up for Instagram or Gmail or YouTube. So this was going to take away all of my social. And someone was already trying to get into my Instagram. And it's not because I'm an on-air, you know, personality or anything. It's just random. This is happening to so many people. And it's just there's a device that you can purchase on Amazon that people are buying for like $30 where they can scan your SIM card.
What?
And there's other ways. There's other ways. Oh yeah, just like they can scan the fob, your car fob. That was a couple years ago where people would drive by houses and there's like a scanner to scan car fobs. They'd copy your car fob and take the car out of your driveway. That there was a lot of Toyota 4Runners being stolen that way. Very similar. They're scanning your SIM card. Maybe I paid at a you know, a gas station or something, and they scanned my SIM card. And then once they have your phone number, they have access to everything. So whatever you attach, like, and I'm still very careful. So once they got into my PayPal, they needed two-factor authentication. That shut them down, and it went to a separate email. But again, they had my phone to get that two-factor authentication for emails. But soon as I knew my phone number was taken, I went into some of my emails and I started changing the passwords because I also have it sent to my work email. So yeah, so it was great.
So that's insane and makes me like sad that I'm so naive, obviously, to how people operate, but also like, so I'm thinking about, obviously my most valuable app on my phone is my bank. It's my banking information.
Right.
So is that, like, pardon my ignorance in terms of how SIM cards and technology works, because I'm not tech savvy. So they would just automatically, because right now the way I have my app set up, I think, no, I do have to use my password when I sign in.
So if they would need, I had my bank card here, but I'll just hold it up. They would need your bank card because they still need to, unless it automatically goes in, they would still need that number to get in. But for Google Pay or Apple Pay or PayPal, if you have two-factor authentication, if they got into your phone number, they got into one of my Gmail accounts. I do have a bunch. So like I say, I have my shopping ones. So they got into a Gmail account because they just had to use your phone number. And they're like, you could type in your phone number right now and it would show if you have Gmail, Hotmail, live.com. And then from there, they started changing and they tried to get on my PayPal, and PayPal caught them. It was PayPal or Google Pay, around $5,000. And I have limits. I don't have that kind of, like, it's not like I'm a baller and I'm not spending that kind of money. So, and they were trying to buy, it was Uber Eats, DoorDash, and I guess because then they're using another third-party app to take money out. So
I wouldn't be using someone else's money for Uber Eats.
Well, I think that there's a tricky way of them getting the money out. I don't think they're actually getting anything because this happened. My credit card's been, a lot of people's credit cards get, people take your information from credit cards. That happened like 5 years ago where someone ordered $700 at Uber Eats in Winnipeg, and we found out it didn't go to anyone's home. This, hacker just got the money. So the one thing you can do is call your, to protect your phone and your SIM card, you want to call your cell phone provider and tell them to lock your SIM card. And the thing is, it's easy. They say it's tough, but when you ask them to like lock it, and there's different, if just say, listen, I just want to keep my phone number with you and lock it so no one has access, then you call your cell phone provider and then say you want to leave that cell phone provider. It will take a little bit longer, but let me tell you, that's fine, because the hell that I went through trying to get my phone number back, Instagram, Facebook, Starbucks. They got into my Starbucks app because that's on my phone, and they were ordering like $500-600 with the Starbucks. And by the time Starbucks cut up again, it was attached to Google. I've got all my money back, but I'm like, I maybe do $5 to $10 a week on my app. So the great thing is there's all these securities built in, but if they were to get access to your bank, that's what concerns me. And that's why there's 2 to 3 factor authentication. I'm trying to look at some people's messages. Danny said her husband's credit card got frauded through Amazon online.
So how did you get your money back?
So PayPal was amazing. They were right on it. Starbucks was right on it, and it was they found, and it was really interesting to find out how the hackers work. So for they try to get Sephora. So for DoorDash, Uber Eats, they were trying to get the money out of Winnipeg. For Starbucks, they were using a device, and it was coming out of a Starbucks store out of Quebec. So they got into that like point of sale. I don't know how. So it was weird how the hackers got access to different, I think, point of sales to like ring in money, but it's no money, and it was just going into their account. Because it was protected, PayPal protects you, Google Pay, Apple Pay, because it goes through again onto your credit card, and then credit cards, they're catching that for, so Visa, MasterCard for sure.
Sorry, go ahead. Oh,
no.
I was just going to say, I had my, something similar to this only happened to me once, touch wood, but it was my purse and it was stolen. This was, oh God, it would have to be 16 years ago, because it was when my daughter was a baby. And I'd left my purse in the backseat of a car. I was on a shoot with the company that I worked with at the time. Got out, came back, thought I'd locked the door. I went to grab my purse and it wasn't there. And I was like, oh, that's weird. Okay. So I went back in. By the time you kind of figure out, crap, it's actually been stolen. My keys to my house were in it, which was what I was so worried about, because it obviously had my wallet with my address and everything. I had a baby, all these things. So I went like
what?
And they had spent money within, I think it was like within 25 minutes on all my credit cards. But I can't describe how violated was, like the mental aspect of somebody stealing. Like, it was so violating. Like, did you have a hard time recovering mentally from this?
I had breakdowns for sure, because I didn't know, for me, for like social media it's like someone going into your work and stealing everything. Like imagine someone grabbing everything, and social media for me that's my workspace. And if someone has my password or has anything, and not even password, but again, once they have two-factor authentication, they can download the Instagram app or Facebook. And if you've attached your phone number as a way to authorize that, they can get in, and they can get in with your Gmail. They're getting smarter. So I did have a couple of breakdowns, and then I'm like, okay, get yourself together. We got to get on this. Now with my credit cards, I will say, especially for you, Michelle, when people, if you get your wallet stolen, what you should do before, well, be careful. And number two,
before your wallet gets stolen,
I photocopy all of my credit card information, and it's in a file folder, so that I don't have to think about it. I grab like a piece of paper, I look,
taking a picture of it on your phone, not a great idea, which is what I do.
Yeah, if you take a picture on your phone, but then you can email it to yourself to an email for sure. Hopefully no one has access, but I have like, a printer. I've scanned it so that we shut it down, and we start calling. So my husband started calling a couple of the credit card companies. American Express was great, because I have like a business account, and then I had like an American Express card that they also try to access as well. So
it's so time consuming. Like, it's hours and hours and hours of your time. It was so weird. After we talked the first time and you told me about this, I was like, oh my God. Within, I think it was 2 weeks later, my one friend, Randy, she told me the same thing happened to her. It was wild. Then I just saw another girl I saw post online, and the banks were not helpful at all, because the banks are like, this isn't our, I mean, that was their experience. They ended up getting it cleared up, but when they first dealt with it, the bank was like, no, we don't flag anything. It's not our responsibility. They don't have that.
It's hard, and
that is.
So I think if it's a bank account and they're going into your bank account, that's hard. But with credit cards, and banks can look this up too, but with credit cards, they follow patterns. So they know I'm not spending like $5,000 a day. I would never, like, that's, that not even at Christmas on myself, my family, everybody but they're following, okay, she shops here. I go, I'm going to Giant Tiger. I'm going to like Shoppers Drug Mart. They're following that. And when they're seeing something out of pattern, they lock it down. But then again, remember, when they see something out of pattern, they call you up. I have had calls from American Express saying, hey, did you make a purchase in blah, blah, blah? If someone has your phone number, you don't know. I wasn't getting texts. So again, when you have And
Right.
look at your phone. When you get two-factor authentication, you would text yourself to get a new password.
Right.
This hacker was getting my new passwords and was seeing me changing passwords on the other end because I was like going to my Gmail and my Hotmail going change, change. And then I was having breakdowns and it was hours and hours. And I will say weeks and weeks and possibly a month's worth of work getting money back. And it's really frustrating. So I will say this is a new thing. It's SIM card theft where they're taking your phone number and because they can, whether they're scanning it. Also check with your kids because if your kids are signing up online with your phone number on third-party apps
Yeah.
and social media apps, some of these apps aren't protected and then hackers have access to those apps. Not saying I love social media, but just protect yourself. If there's two-factor, three-factor authentication, I have a separate email that's not even on this phone so that if this phone, it's not that the phone was gone, the phone number was gone, then it gets to another email that doesn't even come on the phone number, so no one has access.
I also can attest to how long it took after what happened to me. Totally, like this was a long before, like, so technology wasn't near what it is right now. But I had to freeze everything, and so when I froze everything, still, I think it just happened like in the last year or two. If I went to apply for any kind of credit card, like if I went to like even like a furniture store or something, I got flagged. So I couldn't because I'd frozen my account and it was like a real major pain to get anything because I had already once frozen my stuff. So it really impacts your life. So the biggest thing I'm hearing here, phone your phone provider.
Yeah.
And get them to lock your SIM card.
Like, and just say, hey, how can I make sure no one, and it depends. Like, I will say I've had other friends call their cell phone providers, like, we don't do it. You have to go a step above and say, no, I want to make sure my phone number stays with you. And, sometimes like, the customer service reps, they're great, but they're a little stressed or maybe they don't know. And they're like, no, that doesn't happen. It happens. And you don't want it to happen to you. And I was going to say, Michelle, that's good that you put a hold, even though it's frustrating on your bank accounts. I did do that for my business account where I said nothing. I said things could come in. I said anybody can deposit. There is no money going out. So I could still accept money from clients, but no money was being, I couldn't pay for bills because I just, so anyway, I know that was awesome. I'm looking at like, some nice people online. Hey, Enda and Carolyn, all on your Facebook page.
I like having a radio host doing live. I don't even have to do my job. You go ahead, Taylor. Thank you.
Stop. I feel like we see Brenda, we see Heather, and I don't want to freak people out.
I like Inga's question. So Inga says, can you protect your phone by putting it on airplane mode? That wouldn't matter. They could still scan your SIM card, right?
It's still, they can still get access to your SIM card. The devices out there are just so easy for people to get your SIM card information. I don't know how they got it other than was at a gas station and I paid with my phone. Was I walking down the street? Because like I said, there's these devices that if you have it in your purse, someone has a scanner. And I will say, look at the fob scanners as well. That was a big deal. Where people would get those protective cards. I forget, and they sell them on Amazon too. Not sponsored, but
I feel like I need to do like a caveat because people are already like so stressed, so anxious, so paranoid. And this story is like, gee, thanks, Michelle. Now I have one more friggin' thing to worry about.
No,
but I don't want you to feel like that. I think it's just like what Taylor said. Like, it's just like getting into a car and putting on your seatbelt. Like you have to know the risk associated with anything that you do or use. And it is crappy that there's people out here who do that. But for the most part, like my Google account has got a huge security measure on it.
Yeah.
For phishing and all of that stuff.
And I will say, like with I have a bunch of antivirus programs on my computer. I'm going to be honest, I don't have my phone. And now I'm thinking about getting it on my phone because there's even apps that people can purchase to, watch you. I'm going to creep you guys out even more. Okay, do you want me to creep you out even more? God. This is 7 years ago, moving into our new house. I had my laptop up with my camera and a message popped up on my computer and it said, hey, Taylor, I can see you in your red top. and I was wearing a red top, and I'm like, what? Slam. I shut the camera thing down, went downstairs, unplugged the Wi-Fi, because that's how we do it here. Just unplug it. And it took almost 2.5 to 3 hours for Rogers to remove whatever this person had done. And it was like a $30 kind of app that they could purchase, and they could access your webcam and see you. So the one thing I will say, always cover your webcam. They were trying to extort me for $700. I'm like, am I not worth more? No, I'm not. And I didn't have any sexy pictures. It was me in a red turtleneck walking by.
That's me. That's it, Taylor. This is now our interview. Sorry, my finger.
But now I've got my girls.
Oh, now it's finger. Now it's dirty. Because finger was dirty.
I was like, I thought you were gonna flash me.
No.
Ooh, this is not OnlyFans.
Oh my God! Like it's. I think it's just being aware. Like, I don't think you have to live in this like paranoid,
No.
like you can't not live. Like you can't not live.
I still have my apps on my phone. I'm aware, but you know, again, to get a text saying your phone number has been transferred over and you have a certain amount of time to get it back, I thought that was a joke. I thought it was like I said, those fake CRA callers.
Well, you should have answered the text, or were you supposed to call somebody when you got that?
I was supposed to answer the text with, no, I didn't authorize this, but I didn't recognize the text number, and it came from my cell phone provider. I was like, what the heck is this? No, I didn't transfer my number, and I'm not going to text anyone back. Because
I know, I'm so jaded now. I got an email the other day from one of my clients, and they're like, hey, we need you to update your bank information. I'm like, yeah, whatever. And then so I never answered it, and I get another email later. It's like, hey, Michelle, it's so and so from blah blah blah, we sent you an email, we need your new bank information. I'm like, oh, that was real? Sorry.
That was real. And you're like, oh yes, I would like to get some money. I don't want to freak people out. So what, Samantha has something to say. I know I'm looking at your comments.
Do it. And then I don't have to.
No, you do it.
No. What does she say?
When I was moving at the end of November, somebody stole my number, and I got a text from my cell phone provider, but was moving. My email got hacked, my phone number got stolen, and they drained my bank account at the end of November. Oh my God, I'm getting chills. Samantha.
You know what? The only kind of silver lining I can see in all of this is I already don't have any money, so it's fine.
It's
right.
fine.
It's totally fine.
They take your number, they go, oh, wrong person.
That's maybe like, we totally took the wrong person. This is not a good thing.
Samantha, I want to know if Samantha got her money back, if they drained your bank account. So I guess they got access, and again, probably 2-factor authentication to get into your bank information. Yeah. This is crazy. I mean,
I do so much banking on my app, you know, and I'm curious to know what my sister is an insurance agent with Allstate. I'm curious to know what would be around, if there's anything under like house insurance, if it would cover something like this. I'll have to ask her about that, because I know, like with a credit card, I already have it built in, right? If somebody spends, like I got all my money back when I got my purse stolen however long ago, but I don't know what's in place from a bank's perspective. Like if your bank account is drained, is there already a built-in? And I don't know. I'd have to talk to
I thought there was, but I guess it depends on accounts where you bank, but I believe there is like a limit, and then there's insurance. But okay, so I'm just looking. Oh, Terry has a company launching an important service that will cover 4 devices.
That's what I was just going to say, Taylor. If we want to make money, we need to like figure out software to protect everybody.
Yeah. So Terry, once you let us know the software, Michelle and I can be your ambassadors.
Or we could be like Sandra Bullock and Melissa, what's her name from McCarthy. And we could go out and just like take down hackers, like, right?
I would love it. I would love to take down. I think it's just people have a lot of time on their hands, and we were savvy to the email phishing. And now it's not that we're not savvy, but I didn't know this was possible, that someone could take your phone number.
I didn't either. And I think desperate, you know, you're always going to have those people in desperate situations. And I think if you're listening to this and you're somebody who's being coerced into doing something like this, like there's a million other healthy ways to make money, people. Trust me. Karma is a very real thing. Don't do it. Don't do it.
Don't do it. I like how you ended that. That's great.
Don't. This is your mother talking to you. and I love you and don't do it. You're better than that. That's one of my things I always say to my kids when they do something that I hate. I raised you better than that.
Raised you better than that. Come on.
The mom guilt. Okay, Taylor Kaye, if you guys aren't following her, throw down your social media handles where people can find you, Taylor, and what you're working on.
Yeah, I will. Do you want me to just put it on the Facebook group and then, or not group, the Facebook? It's just at the Taylor Kaye on Instagram. I have it back so you can. But if wherever you guys are watching from, I'm probably on a radio station in your neighborhood, or I'm on a morning show doing some DIY. Oh, happy National Popcorn Day today too, Michelle.
Who knew? Now I know. Okay. I have a whole bunch of popcorn. And before we wrap up, I need to point out your sound. What do you call those things behind you? Sound.
Oh, this is my sound dampening. These are my panels.
Panels.
Yeah.
They remind me so much of this show in the early 80s that I cannot remember the name of it. It wasn't Three's Company, but it was a guy and he was blonde. It was like Guy Next Door. It's going to drive me crazy all day. And it was in their logo, that exact pattern.
I will say the orange is getting to me now. My mom's like, if I see that triangle behind you one more time, I'm like, wait, do you want me to put LED lights, Mom? She also tells me I should do my hair more often and put on lipstick. And I did for you, Michelle.
You look great. I would tell you that is a really great branding opportunity.
Oh, right. Thank you. I will put something there.
I mean, a sponsor should be paying for that spot right there. Well,
the tech sponsor where it was Tara, whoever, like, yeah, the new, like, don't get your phone ID stolen. I could put something there. Anyway.
Green screen. Thank you, Taylor Kaye. We appreciate you. And we're really glad that you have your identity back, because I don't think anyone can truly impersonate you. You're one of a kind.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Okay, we'll talk soon. And you and I are going to work on a whole other business thing to save the world. Talk to you soon.
I love it.